Hello and welcome to another YouTube video. Today we will be looking at this Sun Ultra 5, and this is a new Sun Ultra 5 to my collection, different from the Sun Ultra 5 that I showed off previously. That being said, it is basically identical. The processor speed is different, which you'll see when we boot into OpenBoot, but for the most part this is another stock Ultra 5. So with that being said, let's go up to the monitor and turn it on. So here we are at the video display, and as you can hear, my server is running because we will be network booting an operating system installer for this. And yeah, so the Ultra 5 is basically the same as the Ultra 5 that I looked at previously, so if you want more of an overview of the Ultra 5 in general, I'll link that video up in the cards and down in the description. One nice thing about this Ultra 5, though, is that it came with both a mouse and a keyboard. So that means I now have an official Sun mouse and keyboard, which means that I can just, let the USB-free Sun sit with my main Ultra 5 over on my desk. And that being said, let's press the power button. So here we have the open firmware prompt on the Sun Ultra 5. 256 megabytes, OpenBoot 3.15, and 270 megahertz, as opposed to the 333 of my other Sun Ultra 5. And as you can see, because the NVRAM battery is dead, it performed a full diag boot, and there is no Ethernet address. So there are 4 basic commands I will issue in this case, and the first one is to correct the monitor resolution, because this frame buffer defaults to 800 by 600 on this monitor. But I want a full 1024 by 768. So I can just say screen and then specify the resolution. And also the refresh rate. And then just to verify all the settings stuck, I can reset the machine, and it should boot up with the new settings properly. And there we go. So now that that's done, I suppose I should say what we're going to be installing, and the video title will give away. Red Hat Linux 6.2, which did have a Spark release. So I can just do bootnet, and let me check my network configuration, because it should be, everything should be, good to go. Okay, so it turned out the issue was I accidentally unplugged the server's network cable. So now that's plugged back in, I can do bootnet. And it should actually, respond There we go. And once this finishes loading, it will boot Linux, and then it will ask us for all the proper information for how to load Anaconda, which is the Red Hat installer. Well, that might be an issue. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, this is just at the 800 by 600 resolution, so I don't know, I guess that's what we'll use at least to install. Let's see. Sun key map, NFS image, IP address. And then I forget the exact name, but I think it's RHL62 _ Spark. This is RHL6 _ Spark. Okay, I think. Do I need to add the domain? And then I checked and it is RHL62. And there we go. Oh, let's see. Let's do custom. And I'll just delete all of this and add mountain point. Let's see. So this is 3 GB hard disk. Oh, my keyboard map is messed up. I'm gonna see if I can try and fix that. Okay, so I couldn't quite figure out how to do all the keyboard stuff. It didn't look like there was any other keyboard option I could find, so I'm just living with the slightly messed up keyboard for now. Sure. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna go with everything and see how much space that takes. Hopefully not too much. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Generic LCD. Actually, I wonder if oh, this is tough. I'm just gonna go with generic. Let's see. Use graphical login. Let's see, test this configuration. Boom! That works. I can see that message. Next. Next. And we are off to the races. Yeah. I really hope that the keyboard map stuff is like solved by the time we reboot. Hopefully by rebooting, because that would make using Linux very painful. But anyway, I'll just let this install and I'll be back either when it's finished or when something notable happens. Okay, so it has completed. Now let's try rebooting and hope nothing breaks. Everything looks good so far. I love how Tux has a sun on his chest. Come on, you can do it? Oh no. I think it's struggling to set the screen. Let's see. Can I stop A? Okay, the power switch a little flick. Okay, let's see. I swear I have never had this problem before, but also I've never used Red Hat on this monitor, and I think this monitor might be a little limited for what I need. But anyway, let's see. And switch false. Let's reset. I have a theory on what will happen. Yeah. It will go out of range while it's booting, which I can't check what it's trying to display, but and then let's hope it goes back in range when it reaches X. Which may take a bit because it probably wants to scan this and everything. So now we see the same behavior as before. I'm gonna need to investigate this because, yeah, this is proving more difficult than I expected it to. Well, I mean, honestly, it may not be worth investigation. Just give it a reboot. If nothing else, I can just try installing the 800 by 600. Let's see.
honestly, for anyone who is not familiar with sewing machines, this is sort of what you have to do with them. I have been working with sewing machines for basically 3 years at this point, and the one constant is that like they will always be finding something to be unhappy about, and honestly, that's sort of their charm. Um, when you get something that works really well, it's really rewarding, and even the troubleshooting I find quite fun. Let's see. I mean, hey, I was honestly expecting this to just be a very quick video, just installing configuration, that sort of thing. It's obviously not, and I sort of enjoy that. Let's see. Custom. Let's see. All of that looks good. And I swear, like I said before, the key map is shifted to the left by one, like the key matrix. So that means I have to do a little arithmetic to actually figure out what keys to press. I think this is the multi-sync one. Let's see. Okay, that is not supported. Back. You know what? Let's try this. It wouldn't hurt to try. Nope. Whatever this is doing, it's really strange. Let's go back to the generic monitors. Generic 800 by 600. Test this configuration. Yes, I can see that. Okay. Use graphical login. Okay. Take 2. Okay, so we have finished installing for a second time. With any luck, this will just boot without an issue. And I hope it does. Because this is the only monitor I have that can really be put here. I mean, I have an HP monitor I could probably grab at least temporarily, but I'd prefer to keep that monitor elsewhere. Oh! What do you know? Oh, I need to change that. Let's see. Oh, oh, I need to. Let's see. Oh, and we have the key map works. Awesome. But, I must have forgotten to select everything, so it doesn't have everything, so. Time to do another install, and, but this should be the last install. We have a combination of settings that we know work. Yes, I am sure. And I'm not going to take you through the install again. You've seen it twice at this point. So, yeah, I will be back when it finishes installing again, and, you know, we actually have a system. So we're here again. That makes me think it's a software issue. Something is loading that this thing doesn't like. Because I kept all the, I kept all the settings the same, and just selected, told it to install everything. So yeah, I think this will take more troubleshooting. So, it would seem that I have found a working configuration. My suspicion is that it is due to the fact that selecting install everything probably selects also all of the X386 drivers, some of which are probably incompatible with each other, and cause this issues for whatever reason. But now that I actually have a working configuration, I can maybe change the screen resolution, hopefully. I'll have to see. Because this is fairly low resolution. Let's see. What would that be? Where? Let's see. Don't need networking, don't need user accounts, don't need file systems. I mean, it may be necessary for you to just reinstall, which I don't know, I'm not particularly worried about because what mode is this running in? Because this does seem like it's small even for... Yeah, 640 by 480. I was going to say, it seems like it's small even for 800 by 600. But why? Yeah, I'll probably just work with it. So yeah, I will come back when I do whatever I want to configure this. Well, I'm finished configuring it to my liking, and as you can see, I did figure out the screen resolution. There is a command line utility named xconfigurator that I was able to use. So yeah, yeah, you really have your assortment of games, some graphic stuff. multimedia, and let's see. If you open up the control center, you can see the basic system information, KDE 112, user is me, Europa, Umemi is the host name, Linux system, machine Spark 64. And then one of the optional packages is actually Netscape, which does take a bit to load, but once it does, I can load up my site and my page for Sun machines, all my Sun machines. And yeah, that's about it for this video. Honestly, this machine is a really good Linux machine. I think the weird graphical issues were some mix of like the frame buffer built into the machine and then the monitor that I'm using, because this monitor, its native resolution, its maximum resolution is 1024 by 768, which is lower than the like maximum resolution supported by the Ultra 5's PGX24 frame buffer. So my thinking is that most likely what's happening is the PGX24 is trying to default to, 1152 by 800 or whatever its default resolution is. This doesn't like that, so it can't deal with it. But so there's just some like incompatibilities there. But I was able to figure out a combination of settings that did work, and as you can see, this is now, if I bring up the menu, 1024 by 768. So, yeah. I am really happy with how this all turned out. I thank you very much for watching. There will be more Sun content coming in the near future because I am sure it's obvious. I love Sun machines so much. And there's so many cool things you can do with them. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.